Just when you think it couldn't get any more bizarre, you'll never guess what company is investing in gold and silver, and in what way. Let's explore! Gold and silver. They've been in the news a lot lately, especially with the rise in prices, and now with a big drop in prices. A "see I told you so" moment is certainly in effect, as we are starting to see quite a wild ride as we're at the precipice of a rate hike by the Federal Reserve coming. And just as predicted, gold and silver are dropping on that news, probably for other reasons as well, but we'll get into that momentarily. But why has gold and silver spiked up? Well, there's a lot of concern, and there's a lot of things happening in the world, and inflation is a key reason. But why did they move up last year? Well, silver especially moved up a bit last year because of the silver squeeze. They tried to do to the silver market what the Reddit folks on Wall Street Bets tried to do with some stocks like GameStop and AMC. And those stocks went up like crazy before coming back down. Of course, they were just single stocks. The silver market's infinitely more complex, and they really couldn't do the same thing there that they tried over there with GameStop and AMC. And so AMC and GameStop, well, you don't hear much about them in the news, but you're still hearing about silver and gold for sure. And there's been an unprecedented amount of increased investment or hedging or putting your money into, however you want to call it, into gold and silver these days. And that's part and parcel to the higher premiums and a little bit of the supply chain issues. And going back, the connection here is one of those companies is actually investing in gold and silver, and in a very peculiar way. I'm talking about AMC. This news just coming through the wires here that I see. AMC stuns investors with investments in gold and silver mine as it puts $1.8 billion war chest to work. To state the obvious, one would not normally think of a movie theater company's core competency includes gold and silver mining. AMC CEO Adam Aron acknowledges. Wow. Well, let's take a look and see what the thinking is behind this in this article, and we'll try to make sense of it and maybe put our own 2 cents in it. AMC's Entertainment Holdings Incorporated surprised investors Tuesday with the news of an investment in a gold and silver mine that is well outside of its core cinema business. The company is buying 22% of Hycroft Mining Holding Corporation, which is now up almost 10% as of the recording of this video, and its 71,000-acre Hycroft mine in northern Nevada. That is understood to have 15 million ounces of gold deposits and some 600 million ounces of silver deposits. AMC will also receive 23.4 million warrants, priced at $1.07 a share, a discount over Hycroft shares at closing price Monday of $1.37. Eric Sprott, a seasoned metals investor, will make an investment equal to AMC, the company said in a statement. Combined, the investment comes to $56 million, which the two parties said would give Hycroft financial runway. And you know that name because I've talked about that name, Eric Sprott. He's well known and a pretty seasoned investor. And for some of the mining companies that I profile, the exploration companies, his name usually comes up. To state the obvious, one would not normally think that a movie theater's company core competency includes gold and silver mining, according to, this is from Adam Aron, the AMC chief, as I mentioned. However, AMC's successes in recent years in guiding through a period of severe liquidity challenges caused by the coronavirus pandemic, in strengthening its balance sheet and resonating with retail investors, gives it experience it can bring to Hycroft, which has seen its share price hurt by its own liquidity challenges. AMC is one of the original meme stocks the group that became popular on the start of the pandemic when day traders gathered on their subreddit Wall Street Bets to egg each other on to take on short sellers and drive stocks higher. A classic case of manipulation to the upside. And by the way, from peer to peer. So it's that kind of crowdsourcing to do it is quite fascinating. While the meme stock trend has faded, AMC still has $1.8 billion war chest for investments, and this one is truly a terrific opportunity to potentially strengthen and enrich our company, and thereby create significant value for AMC Entertainment shareholders, said Aaron. We are confident that our involvement can greatly help to surmount its challenges to its benefit and ours, he added. Investors should think creatively and boldly about AMC's future, which will include a full recovery from COVID for the biggest cinema chain in the world, he said. But even with enthusiasm that the public has for movie-going at our theaters, it is not enough for us to merely bring back the AMC of old. AMC shares were up 0.7% in midday trade, but have lost 50% of their value in the year to date. Hycroft shares were up 16.5% and are down 76% in the last 12 months, while the S&P has gained 5%. It's a very interesting take here, and as you know, any kind of investment in any stock does hold an amount of risk. But it is interesting to see this pairing of a gold, silver, and gold mining company that's had a little bit of trouble, and then you also have gold and silver married with a movie cinema company, AMC, that made big news during the Wall Street Bets thing. But nonetheless, I think it's interesting to see that kind of thinking out of the box for a company to put their money in a different area. Fascinating indeed. Gold and silver, though, you can't go wrong there. Although, again, you can't go wrong with the physical metal, I believe, over the course of a long period of time. But even the short period of time, you can hedge your bets on what is going to happen to the markets and certain mining companies. It'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out. What an interesting and fascinating story. Gold and silver has certainly been money, and it's been a store of value for thousands of years. And it's interesting to see that some of these more mainstream companies like AMC recognize that and continue to show a little bit of attention to gold and silver. And this is a way to see gold and silver make the headlines again in a matter like this with regards to investing. So what are your thoughts? You know, most of us here in this community, we like the physical, and wouldn't it be something if they were to get some gold and silver bars? We've seen other stories. I've covered stories about some companies putting some money into silver and gold, and individuals too. Case in point, after his passing, Prince. I covered this story, how Prince himself had accumulated gold bars as a store of wealth for him and his family. Of course, it goes on to his estate, but those gold bars were quite an interesting story. I covered it on this channel when that news broke. There you go, AMC and gold and silver in a mining company in particular. And I think, what does that also tell us about the future for gold and silver? More than likely, it's good. And in this day and age, with inflation where it is, it's good to have your money out there in companies and organizations that are putting their investments into mining gold and silver, because we know that they can never produce enough to stave off its value with inflation, because there's just not that much out there, especially of gold. Silver, on the other hand, is a metal that is consumed in the industrial sector, but that demand is going to be picking up too, as we've covered on this channel. So fascinating indeed. Let me know what your thoughts are. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.